Okay, so many of you guys have asked me to do a video explaining what exactly a bait kitty is and what are the signs. And while this is a very sensitive subject, it is something that is important to know exists and is happening. So I'm going to talk about it as lightheartedly as I can without diminishing the gravity of it all. And it's important to know that Moo here is doing absolutely fantastic, and that's the very important thing. So you might have heard about dog fighting rinks, and those are very much alive and well and in existence. This is where dogs are used in entertainment in many various ways, most commonly raised to fight each other whilst people watch and take bets on who will live the longest. Yeah, that's a hell no from me. But since 2010, ASPCA has assisted in over 300 dogfighting cases in at least 24 states, coming out to around 6,000 victims that we know of. Keep in mind that these dogs are often bred, conditioned, and trained to fight. They are every bit as much victims as the cats. A few of you guys were even in the comments sharing your story of how you were at one of these police raids as a professional. So it very much exists. I've seen many deny the claims altogether and use it as an excuse as to why different rescues or breeders might have a lengthier adoption process. But they often acquire these animals through free pet listings online and oftentimes pose as a loving family or even pay a family to do it for them. Now, the reason we don't see as many fighting dog recovery stories is that the way that they were raised and treated resulted in such extreme behavioral issues that they could not be adopted and had to be euthanized, which is kinder than any life they might have lived in a crate, and the real fault of this lies with their abusers. Now, when we get into bait kitties, they are, as their name implies, used as bait, whether that be for training purposes or in the rink. Now, almost all bait cat recovery stories derives of purely speculation. There is rarely enough evidence to track down whoever did this, but the key components that can indicate this are an obvious state of neglect or abuse, such as in Zabi's case. But the biggest speculation that we go off of is when they arrive covered in different colored paint. Paint is used to help identify the different cats, such as when placing bets on which one will survive longest. Zabi was covered in blue paint, whilst Moo is still covered in orange paint. His skin is too frail and fragile to properly shave him down, so he is getting daily baths until we feel that he is stable enough to do so. If this is truly where Zabi and Moo's beginnings started, we are blown away and completely amazed by their willingness to develop trust again in humans. Zabi did take some time, especially with men. He would actually pee himself on the spot anytime a male entered the room. And Moo has some moments where he flinches a little bit unexpectedly to how I maybe reached out to him, but both of them are the lucky ones who are on their way to a full, loving life that they deserve. So do we know for sure that that's where they came from? No, but we put the details together to make that speculation, and then we utilize it to educate about its existence. So are some rescues using its existence for clout? Maybe, but I see the work that they're doing as more important than whatever may or may not be the case. And regardless, it's important to know that this exists and why it is so important to us that we advocate for never listing animals as free to a good home. It's not greed, it's their safety.